Let me be very blunt with you, because politeness wastes time, and I've already wasted enough of mine learning this the hard way. I was wrong about money for a long time. Not slightly wrong, but fundamentally wrong, because I believed the same lie most people believe. That more money automatically means more safety, more control, more freedom, when in reality, that belief quietly creates fear, and fear makes people small, defensive, and hesitant. And I know this because I lived it. And if you're watching this, anxious about your future, worried about retirement, checking your bank balance more often than you'd like to admit, or feeling like time is running faster than your plan, then yes, I'm talking to you, because most people don't struggle with money because they don't earn enough. They struggle because their entire relationship with money is built on fear. So they save, hoard, delay decisions, avoid risk, and call it responsibility when it's actually anxiety dressed up as discipline. And I've seen this pattern everywhere. People with solid incomes who love stressed, people with impressive portfolios who still feel unsafe, and people with far less who somehow sleep peacefully at night. And the difference isn't intelligence or luck, it's how they think about money. Because when money becomes your emotional safety net, losing it becomes terrifying. And I learned that lesson very clearly when I was close to zero financially, not metaphorically, literally, when companies were burning cash, pressure was everywhere, and the illusion of safety disappeared overnight. And that's when I realized something that most people never fully understand, which is that money itself is not safety. Adaptability is safety. The ability to think clearly under pressure, learn fast, and rebuild is what actually protects you. Because money can vanish, markets can crash, jobs can disappear. But if you still have your thinking, you are never truly broke. And this is why the smartest question is not how do I protect what I have, but what can I do that still works if things go wrong? Because protecting money without building capability just creates fragile people. And another mistake I made was believing money could fix internal problems, because people assume rich people are calm because they're rich. And that's completely false. Money doesn't remove anxiety, it amplifies it. Money doesn't fix confusion, it multiplies it. And I've watched people hit numbers they chased for decades only to feel emptier than before, because money solves logistical problems. It does not solve meaning, direction, or identity. And if you're unhappy now, money won't save you later. It will only give your unhappiness a larger stage, which is why direction has to come first and money second, not the other way around. And also spent years believing that being busy meant being smart, that working more hours, taking on more stress, and constantly moving meant progress, when in reality, most of that was just noise. Because real progress didn't come from doing more. It came from thinking better, slowing down, questioning assumptions, asking uncomfortable questions like what actually matters, what I was doing just to look responsible, and what I would change if I wasn't afraid of being wrong. Because busyness is often just fear in disguise, and clarity always beats effort. And I trusted popular advice for far too long, assuming that if everyone repeated it, it must be correct. When the truth is, most financial advice is designed to be safe, polite, and average. And average advice creates average lives. While builders think differently, they think from reality, not comfort. They don't optimize for safety, they optimize for truth. Which is why I stopped listening to people who only talked and started learning from people who had scars. Because scars mean they survived reality. And the biggest lesson of all, the one that changes everything once you truly accept it, is realizing that time, not money, is the real currency. Because money can be earned again, but time never comes back. And I've watched people delay life for decades, waiting for enough, saving and saving, promising themselves they'll start living later, only to wake up older, tired, and unsure what they were even saving for. And that's when the fear really hits. Because money was supposed to buy freedom, and instead it bought hesitation. So let me clear a few lies you've been told directly. More money does not equal peace. Playing it safe is not always responsible, because inflation, complacency, and fear quietly destroy value. And it is never too late to change, because late clarity is far more powerful than early confusion. And if you want a simple way to rethink money without overcomplicating it, remember this framework clearly. Clarify what actually matters to you, not what impresses others. Simplify your financial life, because complexity creates anxiety. Allocate money toward values instead of fear. Build skills, thinking, and adaptability, not just assets. And protect your perspective so money never becomes your identity. Because I was wrong about money for a long time, thinking it was the destination. But it's not. It's fuel. And fuel is useless if you don't know where you're going. So if you want more hard lessons without the sugarcoating, stay here, because clarity gets rarer with age and more valuable every single year.